Pop quiz. What's 80% air, soft where you want it, firm where you need it, made in a lab, and breathes? The GelFlex Grid. And only Purple mattresses have it. It's a super stretchy, ultra squishy material that adapts and flexes around pressure points and doesn't retain heat. Purple mattresses cradle, support, and soothe, giving you the best night's sleep ever. And right now, get a free set of sheets and a pillow with the purchase of select Purple mattresses at purple.com/sleepin. Terms apply.
Tunji's podcast.
Boom, and we're off. Yo, people, what's good? Welcome back to Tunji's Pod. And today I'm joined by two guests from a podcast that I started listening to recently, DM Pod.
Yo, man. It's Dark Man's Podcast, most dynamic duo.
Yes, sir.
I'm Big Ditch.
I'm Dami Duro.
You know the thing.
So, first question I have, what does DM Pod mean? How did you just come up with the name?
Well, the name is Direct Message Podcast.
Okay.
And actually, funny enough, so I was supposed to do the podcast with Moyo. He was on. It started off as the social constructs, me, Moyo, Pissy. Mm-hmm. Then that broke down. Then me and Moyo were gonna do it. So it was like direct message, and then like play on words, Digi Moyo.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of just. Then Moyo didn't end up doing it. Then it was just me.
Yeah.
And then Dami came on board, and then Direct Message Podcast, man. God damn it.
Yeah, basically I came on to save the day because he was like mad inconsistent.
That's just
So
She's trying to take
that's what happened, though. That is what happened.
Is it facts or no? There you go, it's facts.
So I mean,
okay. See, the thing is, I took a little hiatus. It was like a year and a half, but like,
And that was a year and a half after the other two guys left?
no, the other guys left. It took me like probably like another 6 months to a year to start again.
Mm-hmm.
I started for like 4 or 5 months, and then I stopped and I took a hiatus for a year and a half, and then done again.
Were you doing it on your own after those two guys left?
Yeah,
Yeah? And that was just you were just having guests on every week?
man.
Okay.
Shit was hard, man.
No, that's kind of how I know, right?
Bro.
That's how Tunji's Pod was. Before it was called the Tea Talk Podcast, and I had a co-host on it. And then what happened? Then I think I wanted to do it solo, only because I didn't want to have someone else on it that wouldn't basically stay for the long term, because I want to do this long term. So if somebody else, they have their own plans, aspirations for their own life. So if you keep it for yourself, then it's easier to get people on. But it was like a learning process.
but what do you talk about? Like, do you find it hard to? Because when there's more people, you can bounce off each other. Mm-hmm. But when it's just you, how do you like?
I've done episodes on my own before, and to be honest, they were actually very enjoyable. I liked it.
Really?
Yeah, and I managed to keep it to talk for like an hour and a half one day,
Jeez.
and a whole hour for another day.
I started a session, like a little thing called Lessons with Dig.
Yeah, that was
like
good.
10 minutes of like me just doing like motivational speaking and shit
Yeah.
like that. Bro, the very first time I sat there and I recorded, I did like 5 minutes. I was like, I am talking ass, delete it all. Did another like 5 minutes. This is ass, delete it all. And like, it's so hard to do something by yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
I get that.
and then also, have you ever had this where you might have a guest and the guest is just looking at you? And then the episode is dead.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's the only thing about doing it by yourself.
It's hard to keep it interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you have a good co-host, if you have a good guest, bro, it bangs off.
Yeah.
But
As the two of you like to talk, it'd be much easier to
Yeah.
100%.
but it's much easier to do it that way. Like, not to gas or anything, but she's okay.
Yeah, she's okay.
Don't say I'm okay. I'm amazing. I'm an
saved the
amazing
day.
addition to the podcast. So.
The day didn't need to be saved though.
It kind of did though, because you wouldn't have come to me otherwise. So, anyway, as you were saying,
Yeah, as I was saying, I want you guys to tell us a little bit more about yourself. So obviously, DM Pod, look up DM Pod anywhere. These are everywhere, right?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
YouTube, iTunes, Spotify,
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
SoundCloud.
TikTok,
It's coming. The TikTok is coming.
SoundCloud. Yeah, we're everywhere, man. Direct Message Podcast, man.
Yes, sir. And so tell us a little bit about yourselves then. So you go first. Give us a little backstory, how you got to this level right now and where it is.
So what happened, right? Actually, you know what? Okay, so this is what actually happened. So
Not just with the pod, but just about yourself, personal.
All right, so personally, I am an accountant by trade. Barely, but like it is what it is. Funnily enough, how I found podcasts, like I always say podcasts kind of ruined my life and changed my life in the same way. One of these, like I used to be at work and I'd like listen to music all day long. Like I'd literally just pick an artist and just go through their discography one day and just keep doing that.
Wow.
And then one day I stumbled upon like one podcast, one American like out of the blue. And I started listening and I just started going through all of them. Like I just spent my whole day listening to that one podcast and then they went on another podcast, and then I started listening to that other podcast, and then I literally just found Charlamagne's podcast, and then from there...
That was Brilliant Idiots.
Yeah, Brilliant Idiots. And then from there, I literally just started getting obsessed with podcasts. Like, bro, there was one point in time I was listening to like about 40 podcasts actively.
Oh, wow.
And then like I was like, I really want to do this shit. And I was like, I ain't gonna know what to do this with. Fast forward a year later, I ended up going on holidays with Bissy and my boy Moyo. And we just kind of clicked, and we're just like, shouting, social construct, this is social construct, this is social construct. And then we decided like a year later, let's fucking do this. Made a podcast and just kind of started. We started on our phones. Didn't have no mics, didn't have no nothing. We started on our phones. Then Moyo lived in England. Bro. Fam, we were doing this remote shit before COVID came.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. What's called for a lot of the episodes, we were all in 3 different locations.
That's mad.
They're ahead of their time.
Yeah, that's actually mad.
What's called? We used to just Skype call. We'd be on a Skype call and we'd take our phones and like 3, 2, 1, and then I'd stitch all 3 videos to get recordings together. And that's all I had that pod. And it sounded like we're in the same room.
In the same room. That's sick.
And then that's pretty much the vibes. Like, and then through that started doing radio as well. That review session, Dublin 93.9 South FM. You listen to that up here, and we're hearing it.
Okay.
What about you, Demi?
Hi guys, my name is Dami and I am a cell and gene therapy scientist. And
wait. You can't just say that and not explain what it is.
People do that. Like, I'm an accountant. That's accounting. I'm a blah 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 scientist. Like
something gene therapy scientist.
Okay, so cell and gene therapy scientist. Cell and gene therapy scientist. Yeah. So basically, what I do is I work with T cells. Do you know what they are?
No. T cells.
So T cells are like the main constituent of our immune system. So they're the cells that like fight disease. So what I do is I isolate them from blood. I kind of like manipulate them and put like different types of medicine in them to try and get them to fight cancer and different types of diseases. So that's my day job.
Wow. So wait.
She casually just said, I'm fighting cancer on a regular day-to-day basis.
She saves the podcast and she saves lives.
Goddamn.
I'm aspiring to treat cancer.
What did you study? What did you study in college to do that?
Okay, so my undergrad was general science and I majored in biochemistry, and then I kind of felt like biochemistry was really broad and I wanted to be specialized. So then I did a master's in cellular therapy and manufacturing.
Okay.
And then as part of my master's, I had to do an internship with the company I'm working for now, and I've been there since 2019.
Okay.
So almost 2 years post college, and so that's my kind of professional side. And then I am also the co-founder of a social enterprise called Empowered Roots. So it's like a community that supports and develops Black professionals in STEM. And the reason why I decided to create something like that was just because I felt like as a Black woman in STEM, I didn't really have any or know of any like support structures that I could go to. And I know a lot of people in STEM, but we don't really have a place where we can come together and talk about our issues and things like that. So I just felt like we don't have it. Why not start it? So I co-founded it with one of my friends. Shout out to you, Freddie. And so we kind of started that in January. And so far so good. It's a lot of work, but isn't everything. And then I am also a co-host with my lovely friend here on the Direct Message podcast. And podcasting was always something that I used to tell DG, like, oh, I'd love to have a podcast one day. And he'd be like, yeah, just start one. But I never had the courage to. And I knew he was always doing it, but it never clicked to like ask him to do it together. And also I only recently moved out of Galway, so he was doing this long before. But I don't know what happened this year. I said to him, I was like, look, all the plans that I have in my head, I kind of want to just execute them and go for them. And he was like, yeah, why don't you go on the pod? And I was like, okay. And you know the rest. I saved the day, and now, you know.
Now we're here.
Oh, we said it. Look at this. I ain't gonna say.
But yeah.
Niggas out here fighting cancer and shit.
Yeah, straight up. You're lucky you went first.
You know what's so funny about this? That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah, that ass.
You never asked me.
She said constituents and all this.
I didn't know constituents. Like, what does she mean?
Yeah.
So does that mean, me myself, I studied building engineering in college. So I did building engineering, and I got an internship on my second year with a consultant. So I was a consulting engineer then, and we focused on basically designing like buildings and mechanical. There's like so many different departments, but I was specialized in mechanical and building. So let's just say, you know, we have a building here. Our job is to basically bring the building to life. So radiators, like designing radiators, designing like how much water is needed for like a house or a commercial building. Like if it was a big massive. I think one of the biggest jobs I was on was like a 540 apartment block.
Oh, wow.
Sandyford Central, really huge, 540 apartments, and I designed all the water for it, everything that was needed and everything. And so it's basically kind of design.
So when women are like, they want to bump the builder boyfriend, they're talking about you.
That's you.
Yeah, but I'm in an office. All the builders actually out there with a hammer and nail doing the thing. You know, I'm in the office, we do the design, and then we give it off then, and then someone actually comes and installs it based off of our design. Mm-hmm. So I was there for, how long is summer again? How long is summer in college?
3 months, 2.5.
I swear it's longer.
It depends. Like some people finish like
when you finish your exam, yeah.
And start in like September. But you know what it is? Some certain colleges like Maynooth, they just had time off all the time.
Yeah,
like
for real.
Them man were never in uni. Bro.
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, like, but for some, because I finished in like middle of May, and probably started in like middle of September. So about 3 months, yeah. Okay,
so I was doing the internship for 3 months, and after that, there was like 10 interns that were there, and at the end of it, I was the only intern asked to stay on.
Oh wow!
And they kept me on when college started. They said if I wanted to work during college, so I managed to make it work for myself. So I was working. I was a full-time final year student. I was working in the internship place. I think I was doing like 18 to 24 hours a week. And on top of that, and that was during the week because it's closed on weekends. And I was doing a podcast as well. So, you know, that was definitely probably the hardest stage I've ever had in my life, but also probably the best and where you learn the most. Cause a lot of times you think that you can't do a lot of things or have no time to do it. But no one can tell me they don't have time anymore because I was managing to balance all of that.
You have to make time.
So, but yeah, that's where I am today. So I was there, then COVID ended. No, COVID started, in March, and they let me go because I was only an intern. I didn't graduate yet, so I was kind of a loose end for them because they didn't know how it was gonna, you know, people were gonna have to take pay cuts or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I was one of the loose ends. So they let me go. Then I was graduated, and I had no job for 2 months. That was probably the worst 2 months of my life,
bro.
Worst 2 months.
Nobody talks about that shit, man.
Ever, bro. Like, you know, when it's only new, it's fresh. When COVID only hit March, April, May. I can't even explain that. I've never actually felt that down in my life.
Yeah.
You know, them ones. Because I was wondering, I'm like, damn, I'll never get a job. I had so many plans. I don't need to get a job. Because I had everything mapped out in my head. Oh. Then COVID came and just fucked up all them plans. And after that, 2 months later, I managed to get a job as a contractor. So before I was a consultant, and I was doing the design, and then we'd give it off to the contractors that go and install it. So then I was actually from design, and I went into contracting then. I wasn't obviously going out and doing it. I was still in the office, but the company that we specialised in actually installing what the
designers
do. Yeah. So when I was there, and then I realised that being there, there's way more money in it than being a designer. I thought designers were the top of they're basically like the gods of the industry.
Yeah.
But they get paid less than contractors. It doesn't make any sense.
It'd be like that though.
Yeah. So when I was there, then I realised my eyes just opened, and I said, wow, okay, so this is what these businesses look like. So I was there for 6 months, and I left because it was just too far. I was travelling from the countryside. I live in the countryside. And having to come to Dublin every day, it was burning a hole in my pocket, and it was taking its toll. So I found another job. I think my old Gaelic coach is actually the owner of another contracting firm, 2-minute drive from my house.
God.
Bro.
So I managed to get myself in there, with really good terms, and yeah, man, that's where I am today.
That's what they always say. It's about who you know. Like
100%.
Definitely.
One of my
Especially
boys,
in Ireland.
One of my boys, he has a degree that is completely irrelevant, whatever. And he knows a couple people that he ends up getting a job as like electrician, like legit electrician job. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just because he knew someone, and he's like, look, you figure it out as we go. But it's like, there's people that are killing them, just graduating college, electrical engineering, thinking that I'm going to go here, applying for jobs, and this guy that has nothing, just because he knows somebody, like, bro.
Especially in Ireland, so like, it's fair when it happens to you, but it's unfair when it's not happening to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Fam, people don't talk about that time after you just graduated and you're trying to get a job, bro. I graduated, and it was probably about 2 months. It was probably just about 2 months, bro. It got so bad that I was going to like marketing. I was just applying for everything. I remember I went somewhere.
Right now.
I went somewhere.
Trust me,
bro. I went to some what's called some interview or whatever, and it was like marketing and like selling like electricity and going from house to house, and we were doing like like you go out with them, and we're talking about it, and for some reason it didn't clock for me to ask if it was commission or whatever. The guy said it was commission. Midway through we're doing this, I was like, yeah, I'm not about it, and I just left.
really,
bro. Like, fam, because you know when you're in Dublin City, all of those apartments in the city, they're all old buildings. There's no elevators or anything, so you have to walk up all the stairs, and like they give you like a place you have to do, so you have to do that. You have to lap that like 3 times. So if you knock on someone's door and they don't answer, you keep a mental note. You keep going, go to where you and come back again.
No.
So I was thinking about going upstairs, going downstairs, doing this for commission.
damn.
I was like midway through, I was like, bro, I'm out. I was like, nah.
I feel you.
But that 2 months I was jobless. I was like, you guys promised me a degree, I'll get jobs.
Honestly, bro, I did. That's one of the things that was on my head. I'm just like, no, it's because if COVID didn't come, I would have never been jobless. So, in essence, I still would have been there, and I wouldn't have known what else is out there. So maybe it's a good thing.
Well, it's blessed because you might have been one of the gods up there, not knowing that the bag is down there.
Yeah, you know that. And another thing I've figured out, but to get to the top level as a consultant, you need to have like a master's and everything like that. And I really didn't like college. I didn't want to be there. So I said that I need to get out of here as soon as possible to get myself a job and focus on other things, because I feel like college was just a means to get to where I want to go, rather than, where I want to stay.
Yeah, which I think is a big misconception that I suppose it comes from our parents. It's like, you do this degree and you're set for life. Yeah. That's it.
Go to school, get a family, and die.
I mean,
that's their motto. Like,
there's no even thing of changing companies. You get a good job and you stay there until you die.
That's it.
You die. Like, it's just not practical. I feel like, there's people who transition between different careers, and you can have a degree in, I don't know, engineering and decide that tech is your passion, or decide that music is your passion. But I think we've been raised like, okay, this is your degree. A lot of us didn't even know what we were signing up for. It was just, you just picked it because your parents said it was good, or you liked the name, you liked the sound of it. But was it really your passion? Like, you were what, 17?
I picked my degree from a Biggie song.
Please, DJ, you have to explain that, because
what was the name of your degree?
No, my degree is accounting. Like, I'm an accountant, and like in what's called, this is legit how I guys, I shit you not. So I was one of my boys, right? Like, we've grown up together. We've like whatever, we're in the same classes. We pretty much did the same thing all the time, kind of situation. And his mom was driving us home, and Biggie Juicy comes on, and he's like, what's called, no need to worry, my account handles that. I was like, become an accountant. I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not?
Oh my god.
Biggie's accountant, yeah.
Not even. It was just literally like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Like, the thing is, and this is probably ignorance on my part, but like stuff like engineering and all that kind of shit, I didn't know all that shit existed, bro. Like, I didn't know like what it meant. I didn't know any of that kind of stuff. Like, I was 16.
Yeah.
The fuck am I supposed to do at 16?
Straight up. And yeah, that's the same with me. I think when I was applying, funny enough, I applied to all 20 places in secondary school because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. All I knew is that I'm going to be rich. Like, that's just how it was in my head. I said, it's going to happen no matter what. So it doesn't matter where I go, the end result is always going to be the same.
It's the bag.
That's how I was thinking. So I said, I'm going to apply to all 20. Whoever gets me is lucky. that's how my mind
a good
was.
mentality to have,
and
yeah.
like, I didn't apply to any colleges in my area, like in Louth, because I said, there's no way you will catch me dead here. Never. I needed to get out because the mind in Louth is too small.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just like, I knew I needed to leave there, so I didn't apply to any place in Louth. I left everywhere, applied everywhere in Dublin, anywhere in the country. I was applying 20 courses. Then I got one course. This is how I know God works, because people would always ask me, where do you think you're going to go for college? I said DIT in Dublin. And that's the thing I'd always say. I didn't know what I was doing there, but I kept saying DIT in Dublin. The first result I got back, the first round, didn't get anything. Second round, didn't get anything. Third round, DIT in Dublin. Took the course straight away. I said, yeah, okay, there we go. I'm a student now.
You know what is so crazy as well, right? So, like, me and my boy that I was talking about, I only filled out the level 8s. He was a cocky prick. He wanted to literally just put the one course that he wanted.
Crazy guy, man. He has balls. I don't have them balls.
And his brothers were like, don't do that. At least put a couple. So I think he ends up putting like 4 or 5 or whatever, right? The thing about me and him, we've always kind of gotten in and around the same marks, but we get it in different ways, kind of situation. And I put in Galway on my CAO because I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Like, just put accounting in different places.
Yeah.
So they actually approved me. Like, I got a letter and they're like, oh yeah, we'll just get the points you're in. Like, they pre-approved you. Yeah. And I was like, I got the letter and I was like, who the fuck is going to go and threw that shit away? And then, so this is what happens, right? So I get, on my CAO, I had marketing in DIT as my 4th option, and like Go is like my 5th option, right? And what happens is I get 370 points, and my boy gets 375. So that was the marketing that in DIT was the last thing. It was the last thing on his.
Yeah.
He gets 375. I was the whole year I was getting A1s in English because I did Word I Love English. That's a 10-point difference. So I got an A2 instead, and I was like, this makes no sense. I was supposed to get an A1 in this thing. Yeah. And then it turns out, so that course, it finishes. You know the way that the course, like the last person that gets in, is what the course thing is. Yeah. That year it was 375. If I got my A1, I would have went to Dublin. Yeah. And funny enough, going to Galway kind of made me who I am. Like, because I went to Galway by myself, no friends, no nothing. Everyone else I knew was in Dublin. Yeah. So I literally had to like break out of my shell, stop being shy, like go make friends and all that kind of shit. And it made me who I am.
I hear
so
that
if I had just gotten those 10 extra points, my life would probably be completely different to what it is now.
Your mind would still be the same.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by what you're comfortable with.
Yeah. And my boy, man, I had to repeat as well.
Damn.
Like, it's crazy. Shit like that is crazy, isn't it?
I feel that pain, man.
But yeah, man, God works, man.
Dead ass, because I think that's another thing that I had to do. I said I didn't apply here because I don't like the mindset right here. I need to get out to basically meet different people and to basically start from scratch, because everybody wants to go out and start from scratch. So that was definitely the turning point for me. If I would have stayed there, who knows what kind of guy I'd be now.
Bro, man, it's so important to like break out of that place. And you know what it is? Like, there's certain places, it's like there's like an aura. Like, there's certain places, like, you know what? I don't know what it is. Dundalk, yeah. I hate that place. I hate that place. And the thing is, like, I go to Dundalk and it just feels eerie. Like,
you feel what the girls call it again, the ick.
Yeah.
It just feels
like
the ick when you go to the.
It just feels eerie.
I feel
what I'm saying.
I feel it.
And then also just being around like the same people. Because if I had gone to Dublin, I'd have been around the same people that I was around my whole life.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be able to just be different.
Yeah. That's what happened to me. I stayed in Galway for college, and it's like one of the things that I regret. Like, I mean, fair enough, I turned out okay by the grace of God, but I really do wish I could have had the opportunity to see what I would have become if I tried something different and moved away from home. Yeah, because like, how am I in college but I still have like a curfew, or I don't know, it's weird. It's like it's like I'm still a baby, but I'm in college. That's how it felt in my head. Do you know what I mean?
Like upgraded secondary school.
Yeah. And also like
7th year, 8th year.
Yeah. And I remember because obviously I started young, so I was 16 when I started, and like my dad would be like, oh, obviously I couldn't go clubbing or anything, but it's like he wouldn't even let me stay out late.
Yeah,
he'd be like,
that.
oh, you're still a baby. I'm like, yeah, but I'm in college. Like,
Yeah.
it was weird.
Yeah.
So I really do wish I kind of moved, but it's all good now.
And it's so weird because like in college they're doing rag week, shag week, blah
I
blah blah.
Yeah.
I never took part in any of
To
that.
be honest, I think, how many times did I go out in college? In my whole 3 years, you'll be shocked. I think I only went there about 4 times.
But you had the option to, though.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
did
that's the
have option.
difference.
Bro, my first week I went out every day. I lost my voice. In the
I'm
first week.
screaming.
I never went out. The only time I'd go out was when I went to Galway for those 2. So 6 days in 2 years. Maybe 7 or 8. So in the whole of my 3rd year, 3 years in college, I think I only went there about 8 days. I just have no interest.
Yeah, I must have only went there like twice.
Yeah, there's no
Really?
interest. It's
Yeah.
like,
The reason
It's just bad to me, like.
the reason why I went out was just because like when I was like living in Navan and stuff like that, like it was one of those things where it got to a point where I just been coasting through life.
Yeah.
My whole teenage years is just one big blur because I was coasting, like even so much so like I stopped asking my mom to go out and stuff like that. Not because she'd say no, I just didn't ask. And then like she'd be like, I heard this party's going on. Why didn't you even ask to go? And I was like,
Oh, that's nice
"Just
of
didn't."
her.
yeah.
Like, do you get what I'm saying? And then so when I did, and I was like, look, if I do the same thing that I was doing then, I'm gonna be a loner for the rest of my fucking life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then it was just kind of like and then also, bro, the way it was set up, you get there before a certain time, you get it for free. I didn't drink.
Yeah.
And then if you share a taxi, it's €2 taxi each person. Get home. So I go out for €2, get back home, be calm.
Man, you enjoyed, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
All right,
Ah,
like, except the first night, the very, very,
I was
very
spending way
first
too
night.
much money on
The
that.
very first night, I had to walk from town to Duishka. Not to Duishka. You know where the Carlton Hotel is in Galway?
Yeah.
I had to walk from town to the Carlton Hotel.
It's quite far.
Yeah, it was like an hour and a half. It was like an hour and a half my first week, bro. It was long.
That's peak.
Oh man, when I tell you, in this life I've suffered, bro.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
But man, it's all vibes though.
It's all vibes. So we feel the vibes. So advice that we'd give to people that are listening right now that are students.
Yeah.
What advice? Because we're all finished now. So what would we say to them? I'd say first thing I'd say is you're gonna hit a stage after if you don't have a job already secured, you're gonna be depressed when you finish. You know that's just a given. It's gonna happen.
Bro.
You know, but just know that something will come out of it if you keep trying. Like you need to keep applying. Like I applied to for my internship, I applied to about 50 places, and I only got one back.
50 places is even light. That's even light, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because, bro, fam, I don't know how many places I applied to.
Yeah, you need to
And
apply.
Even accounting as well, to get like an accounting job. Because like there's what they call the milk round, where like the big four start snatching up like all the
yeah.
Bro, these things are essays. Like the applications, like one application will probably easily take you like an hour. Like they're essays, bro.
Damn.
I applied. I was in college. Yeah, I'm gonna work for Coke. I'm gonna work for Kerrygold. I'm gonna work for fucking Aldi.
Yeah.
Also, bro, Aldi and Lidl have great graduate programs. Like they even give you a car and everything. Brand new
Crazy.
A4. But that shit is finding a job is so much harder than working. I always say this. It's
Yeah, no, it really is. Working is actually the easiest part for all the college, all tests, exams, everything. When you finally get that job, I feel like it's the easiest part.
It 100% is, bro. I was
Did you
at work.
disagree?
I was at work, and this guy asked me, "Do I know what depreciation is?" I have a fucking accounting degree. I've known what depreciation was from 3rd year.
I get you now.
You
Yeah.
asked me what depreciation. I looked at him and I was like, it's a requirement to have a degree to work here, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But like, it's because like a lot of the things can be just learnt on the job.
Yeah, that is facts too. Would you not think that? You think this is harder?
Well, yeah, I think it.
But
Not
then
that
again,
it's,
you're changing the world,
I'm
Niggas are
trying
fighting
to.
cancer, like,
T cells
I'm
and
trying
stuff.
to. I feel like it is easier, but it's still something that being a working adult is something that you cannot prepare for. You just have to experience it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, even sometimes, like, I don't have the energy to go out. Like, I might want to, but 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, you're not always going to have the energy to go out or to
Go to work.
That's what I'm saying, or to even have the time to put into your passions. Like sometimes with this, like with the podcast, or I find like myself with Empowered Roots, like I know the work I have to do, but I just don't have the energy to do it. Do you know what I mean? So I think
Do you think you put too much responsibility on yourself?
Oh, I do. Yeah. Deji will tell you, like, I'm like such a control freak, and I know where I want to be, and it's like I want to get there like now. And when something goes wrong that I feel kind of like moves me away from that path, I like freak out. It's almost like I can't handle when things don't go right. But I think it's because, luckily enough, my life so far has been going right.
Yeah, you better prepare.
Yeah, so it's
You
like...
better prepare, because something will come and kick your ass.
Yeah.
Something always comes.
Yeah.
Something
Always come and kick your
So when
ass.
something happens, I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Like-
they be going to that extent.
Bro.
Yeah.
But like what you said, like, okay, I think it'd probably be good to give it in stages as well.
Yeah.
Like the first stage of like even getting the job, don't stop applying. And you know,
Yeah.
Applying.
after that as well, maybe even look at other shit as well, because
Yeah.
I know hella scientists that work in a bank. Like I know
Yeah.
hella.
They be taking you. There's so many industries that take you, and you don't have anything. Like you said, liver
Yeah.
program, banks take you.
Yeah.
Like accounting firms are
Bro.
hiring people that don't even have accounting
As long as
degrees.
you have a degree, bro.
Like-
Because the thing is, a lot of it is
They can teach you
they
on
can
the job.
teach you. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, pretty much anybody could probably do my job. Because the thing is, a lot of the stuff that like there are some things that may not correlate, but like a lot of the things, it's like I'm not gonna lie to you. Half the shit that I do now, I didn't learn in college.
Yeah.
Like,
That's same with me.
And they explain shit to me. Even when
Same.
I've trained people, I train them like you don't have any prior knowledge. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might understand one term or another term, whatever. But yeah, so just keep applying. But once you get in that job, just make sure that you don't fall into the trap of going to work, coming home, and going to work the next day and then coming home, because you're literally losing your Monday to Friday. So
Yeah.
make sure that in the evenings you're
No,
doing
you
something
need to
else.
be doing something in the
Like-
evenings
Yeah.
every single day. Like
and
I
it's
keep
so
myself
easy to
busy
fall into that trap as well.
7 days a week. It's very easy. What I say to people is, when you get the job, give yourself the first month to adjust to working, because when you start in your first week, you're like, damn, I'm so tired, and I went to work and I just came home. Why am I so tired?
Yeah.
Then the second week, okay, it feels a little easier. Then by the end of the month, you're like, okay, I'm not tired. I need to be filling something in with
Yeah.
this time right now.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
For me, the hardest thing about work was going from this transition of doing whatever the hell I want to do. My attendance in college was ass. To now, if I always have to have an excuse. I hate, like, one thing
Yeah.
I hate explaining myself. That's one thing that I've always hated. I don't like explaining myself. So a lot of time, if someone thinks something about me, I just whatever. I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck. But now it's like, if I am missing between 9 to 5
You have to
for even
account
an
for
hour,
it. Yeah.
I have to let you know that, oh, by the way, I'm going to be here. Or like I can't just not turn up. Do you get-
Yeah.
like, that
Yeah.
bothers me. That bothers me, because you're in college. I'm not going to college.
Yeah, I'm on the mood.
Or
to
even
go in.
if you're in college, you're like, I'm not going to that class.
Yeah.
You don't have that luxury is gone.
Yeah,
you don't have
that's
that choice
gone.
anymore. And that proper bothers me. And it took me so long to get used to that. I just like coming to the terms with the fact that like there's no more summer doesn't count anymore. There's
No, it doesn't.
summer
my
holidays
God.
a thing anymore.
You know what? My brother asked me, "Oh, when are you coming home for the summer holidays?" And I was like, "Sweetie,
There's
I'm
no
not coming
summer
home."
holidays.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Like,
and it
there's no
actually
break
hit
anymore.
me. It actually just hit me like, wow.
Yeah. No more
No
midterm.
more summer holidays.
No more Christmas
Like,
holidays.
if you want to go on a holiday, you have to take the days off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I like-
It's
Let me hit you with something that's crazy that I was thinking about the other day. If you're working a 9 to 5, in 5 years, you will have only had 5 months off in the year for holidays.
Exactly.
That's less than half a year in 5 years.
Like
All the rest of that time
it's
is
just not worth it. Like,
20 days. Also, use your sick days.
Before you even wake up,
News for Today is working for you.
How the weather will affect your plans for the next few hours, even the next 10 days.
and what you need to know to get ready for your day, no matter how it looks.
Where you need to go, how you're going to get there.
The stories you need to know for the day.
And showing you great things happening in our community.
Whenever you're ready to start your morning, we'll be ready for you.
News for Today is working for you.
Any moment that lets you just sit back, relax, and enjoy even 1 second of the day to yourself and taste like pumpkins, that's a moment to look forward to. The McCafe Pumpkin Spice Latte is back. Get a $2 small hot or iced for a limited time. Or try one of our other freshly brewed espresso drinks. From iced caramel macchiatos to caramel frappes to hot mochas to every sweet treat in between. Only at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary.
You get a lot of like 9 sick days.
Actually.
Don't be doing super
I feel
warrior.
bad. I actually feel bad.
Fuck them niggas, man.
To be honest, I actually never knew about sick days. What's the sick?
What's called?
You're entitled to a certain amount. Yeah.
You're entitled to a certain amount of paid sick days.
Yeah.
Use them. Because the thing is, they're just gonna go anyways.
Yeah, they're gonna go.
So literally, just say I'm sick and don't come in that day, bro. We fall, especially as black people, we fall into this trap of trying to be the best for them and all this kind of shit.
Facts.
But these guys, bro, I've worked at a place with high turnover, bro. I've come in and I've seen someone leave on Friday, like we did the whole clap nonsense and give them the card. Monday morning, I came into work. I'm getting to work at 8 o'clock. Like they left work at, let's say, it's probably like 4, quarter to 5. Friday evening, right? I get to work Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Tell me why their desk like is cleared, everything is gone. Like everything is gone, like there's someone else there. And it's just like you're that replaceable.
Yeah.
All of this dying for this company and blah blah blah.
Yeah, that could never be me.
Fuck them niggas, man. Take your sick days, exploit them for everything you can, because that's what they're doing to you.
And this is like this can be a whole different conversation in itself, but it's something that I'm very passionate about, especially as a black person. When I started work, I had that mindset. I was like, oh my God, I want to be the best and show them that like I'm capable and I should be here. But now, almost 2 years in, I'm like, look, I'm just gonna do what you pay me for. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like I'm just gonna. Who am I proving myself to?
Facts.
Why do I need your approval?
Facts.
Do you know what I mean? Like Dr. Umar said, like, why do you need the white man's paperwork to validate you? Validate yourself. So if I feel sick, because they do it. They abuse the privileges that they have.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Like they leave whenever they leave. But if I'm leaving at 4 o'clock on a Friday, I kind of feel like, oh, do you know what I mean? I feel bad. But I think the confidence comes though, the longer you work, you kind of get more comfortable and you kind of know the things you can do and can't do.
What you can't do.
Yeah, and I think another thing I would say, I know it's easier said than done, but don't feel like you have to stay at a job you don't like. I think depending on your situation, if you feel like you've fallen out of love with your career, do your research and try your best to change it if you can. Like just because you graduated with a medicine degree doesn't mean you have to stay in medicine. You come first, your mental health comes first, and yeah. Yeah,
I also like, bro, I'm telling you now, leave every 2 years or something. Like there's no point in giving a company 5-10 years.
Yeah, no.
Bro, you make so much more money.
I saw a crazy stat the other day on that actually. If you don't leave every 2 years, by the time you get a certain level of experience, you're actually on 50% less than what you would usually be on. Like insane. To
take it somewhere else though, it's just like with like phone contracts or like all these people, like you move phone contracts every once in a while because everything is offered to the new people. Yeah. If you're there for whatever, they don't care. Yeah, they don't care. Yeah, like literally, what's called? We have prepay electricity in our house, right? And we were with this company for a while. And one guy from Electric Island came over and he's like, oh, if you move over to us, we'll give you €250, like electricity. And then we were like, oh, that makes so much more sense. Yeah. Like even with my internet, I sort out the internet in the house, whatever. Every year we change because, like, you get a better deal, bro. I had Sky, TV, internet, and everything was like 50 quid. My 12-month contract ran out. They bumped it up to like 120. I was like, what? You mad? I was like, yo, someone else come take me. Yeah, but it's crazy. Also, don't feel like say no. Yeah, say no. Yeah. Bro, tell me why I started this job, right? Fresh out of college, I started this job. 3 weeks into 3 weeks working there, I'm training other people. After that, I'm probably like a month, 2 months into the job. I'm staying to 8, 9 p.m. No. My managers and my supervisors are walking out the door and I'm still here like a dickhead. No. It's slave culture if you think about it. You do that on your internship. You don't do that on the... I do that on the internship. If I'm working there, nigga, I got my contract signed. I'm good. Boom. Yep. I'm going to go as soon as my time is done here, man. But even that, like, because I used to finish at 5 o'clock. Yeah, 5 o'clock will come. And I don't know, for some reason, I'm waiting for other people to move first. Even though I'm entitled to leave.
No, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't do that anymore.
I don't do that anymore.
4:30. I'm like, see you guys tomorrow.
Bro, before that, I was just, as like black people, like we overcompensate or something.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
We
like,
do.
Like, God forbid you leave a bit earlier and everyone else will leave a bad attitude.
We do. And that's the thing. And that's why I said it's like a whole different conversation in itself, because there is navigating yourself through your career after college for everybody, and then there's navigating it as a black person. It's completely different. Your attitude, everything, you have to. And I feel like that now because in my company I'm the only black person, and like, you know, all the stuff I've been going through, like I've told you, but like it's almost like for the first time in my life I am always aware that I'm black. Do you know what I mean? In college I never really thought about it that much because I was around other black people, so I felt comfortable. Like now, you know, if you were all white, I would feel like, is there certain things I can say? Like, is there certain jokes that they wouldn't get or whatever? But at work, it's just starting to feel like, oh, okay, she's black. Do you know what I mean?
That's very interesting.
And just like microaggression and all this type of bullshit. And it's just like, just be yourself. It's hard in the kind of world that we live in, but don't overcompensate. Like, if you and Billy have the exact same job and Billy is leaving at 4:30, don't feel like you have to stay till 5:30 just to be considered. If Billy's leaving at 4:30, then you leave at 4:30 as well. Do you know what I mean?
And the worst part about it is that all the hours that you're putting in, Billy is doing the equivalent, but he's doing it in the pub.
Exactly.
Those Friday drinks,
do you know what I mean?
Like,
Exactly.
it's
so
not everyone that you should go to, but like, make sure you show up to a couple of them.
Yeah.
Because, bro, like, that's where like, they just give the promotions to the people that
that's where you put
they want to.
That's what I'm saying. And when you realize that, like, there's a lot of politics in the workplace.
A lot.
And when you realize that, you know what? It doesn't actually matter how good you are. It's if they like you. Like, don't get me wrong. Exactly. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. You can succeed and do really well as a black person if they like you. But if they don't like you,
you're in trouble.
Yeah. Bro, work. That's another thing that they do not prepare you for.
No, they don't.
Politics at work is so long.
Politics, it's a real thing.
Like, even
people, you need to get ready for this, man.
Yeah, you gotta be ready to kiss some ass.
Yeah.
And also, you have to, if there's one thing you need to perfect right now, perfect the art of looking busy.
I mastered it. I mastered
what's going? When the boys started, because like what I used to do is just like, you know, just be tab key, and just be looking around, not doing nothing. Then we just started sending each other emails playing Hangman, like just to look busy. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't look busy, they just assume that you're not doing anything. Yeah. And like, so what?
They start throwing more work on you.
Not even like, okay, like, so for me, what I used to do, like, I had 2 stints in the same company, right? The first stint was I was the eager. I was trying to do, you know, my career just started. The second stint, I was there for a check, nothing else. And the thing about me is I'm probably laid back, like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I work. Like, I look really lazy when I work. Like, if you see me working, I'll be like chilling, you know, look at my phone, just. But I'm getting shit done.
Yeah. You mastered it though.
But the thing is though, when the review comes, they're like, oh, we feel like you're not asking for enough work. You're not doing this. You're not doing this. You're not doing this. And it's like, they made it seem like I was just sitting around watching videos all day. Because I used to put like podcasts in the corner, like a Joe Rogan in the corner for 3 hours, whatever, and listen. And I was like, I listened to 3-hour podcasts. If I wasn't doing anything, you would know. Yeah. But it was like a politics of having to look busy.
Exactly. You need to look like you're doing the part. Like, you need to look busy.
Look at the part is more important than doing the work.
You don't even need to be doing anything in that time.
Yeah.
Like, you could dead ass be doing, like, watching films. But to them, the perception's reality. Bro. At the end of the day. You know, they perceive that you're not doing, that you could be doing more. So, you know, they just assume that you can't really.
Yeah,
you can do the same work,
and it's not fair. Like, some of these white men can go red in the face, make it look like they're busy. I don't have that luxury. Like, like, that's it. Like, bro, man, it's just annoying. Like, just because I hate having to do those kind of stupid things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like, are we really gonna do this? And then this whole.
I saw a tweet and it was a girl. She's talking about like how she wasn't like greeting her. I don't know if you saw it. She wasn't like greeting her colleagues. Yeah, I saw that. So they think she's like a bitch or whatever. I just wanted to know what's your opinion on it, because
she doesn't like reading.
Greeting. So like having conversation with them, like, how was your weekend? Blah blah blah. And I feel like when I first start,
that's common sense. You should know to do that stuff.
She took it too far.
But to what extent?
She took it too far. Greet them, say hi, and
hi guys, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, okay, that is basic, I guess. Yeah.
You just come in and say nothing. I'm gonna think you're a thing. Like I'm
Really?
gonna think that.
Yeah, I just think you're rude. Like it's just basic manners.
Yeah, it's like you could be a really nice person, or you could be shy, but you come in, you say good morning. Everyone's gonna say good morning back, and maybe someone might talk to you.
Yeah. However, I won't have a long ass conversation with you.
No,
bro.
They love that.
I could have gone to Narnia on the weekend. You asked me what did I do this weekend.
You know, the same old.
It's the same old, but that's the thing though. I've already mastered it because I basically grew up in the. When I say I grew up in the countryside, like I used to work for farmers, like throwing hay bales on their down, like
that's just a workout though.
I'm telling you, proper country boy. So back then, I've grown up with white people.
Yeah,
like I only made my first black friend. Well, there was only like 2 in my school. There was only like 3 of us in there. Everyone else was white. And then in secondary school, there was only about 10 black people. Then in college, that's where I was exposed to loads more. Now, all my friends in Dublin are black. I don't have any white friends in Dublin that are black. But back home, most of them are. It's kind of a split, 50-50 now at this stage. But like I've known how to navigate, like to kind of understand white people because I grew up with them.
Yeah,
I know how to the mannerisms and stuff like that, how to talk to them. But like I was talking to my other friend that grew up in he said he lives in the hood. So he lives
in Stella.
Yeah, Stella, of course. So he lives there.
Go ahead.
And what he was saying is, you know, he says he doesn't know how to speak to a white person. I'm like,
bro, you know what? Like, no, I hear it.
He's dead ass. Like he said, because he's never actually hung around with his. He doesn't have a single white friend. Everyone he knows, next door neighbors, all his neighbors, all black. Everyone black. So for him to see a white person, he's gonna be like, what do I even talk about?
Bro, I'm right there with him because like I legit have no white friends.
That's mad.
Like, because the thing is, right, obviously, like you have your school friends, whatever, but I never hung out with them after school. Do you get what I'm saying? And then when I got to college, bro, fam, the black crowd was too lit, bro. Yeah, you know what? It's just comfortable. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? We're all making the same jokes and everything, and then like I didn't really do any extracurriculars. Remember I told you I was like coasting the whole time, so I wasn't doing any extracurriculars. I didn't have anything like that. But even with that, why do I have to navigate? Why can't I just be me? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm thinking. People think that you have to be someone else that's not you.
Yeah.
But you don't. You really don't. It just depends on how you talk, and it depends on where they're from, because you also need to consider where they grew up. Yeah. They're also thinking, how do I even speak to, you know, how do I speak to him or her? You know, they're from a completely different culture than me, so how am I gonna navigate this conversation? They're thinking the same thing you're thinking, you know?
Because I've had white friends. I've had white friends. I have white friends in Balbriggan. But I found it was such a proximity thing that we all developed the same interests together. Yeah. Based on growing up together and being close together. And then as I found them when I went to college and work and stuff, that's when I had to navigate with what you said. That's when, because some white people are hard to unlock.
Yeah.
Some are really hard to. You know the greeting thing is wrong about.
Yeah.
Do you ever find with a white person, one day you'll greet them, they'll greet you back, and then another day they'll just air you or something like that?
That's never happened to me.
Or do you know that like face they give you?
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even get the face.
Like,
sometimes you don't
I'm
exist.
just like, what is happening here?
Like, switch, you do the face back, like.
No, to me, I don't really be seeing many smiles.
Do you know what I work at?
Yeah, it's the best thing to do.
Sometimes I don't even know what you say. I said, yeah. But if I didn't hear what you said, I'm like, yeah.
Dead eyes.
But like, it's just, I like all of the politics and all of
it's just long. I think especially like just being the only one, I'm just at a point where I'm like, I'm done.
And I hear that. The thing is with me, I've always been the only one.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. Okay.
Being the only one out of like now when you're working versus always being the only one. You know, I think I've adapted that kind of thing in my head. It's like it doesn't affect me anymore.
Yeah.
Like the thing is though, for me, I like literally I'm talking about 99, 2000. I was in Toom in Galway, bro. Me and my sister were the only ones.
Mad.
We were the only ones. Came to Navan later on. Only one in my class for a while, and then there was like we're scattered here and there. Yeah. But like we're used to not being too many of us. Do you know what I'm saying? But then you go into college and you go into this culture shock, and when you're like you're around niggas.
Yeah.
Like,
everyone's just around.
So it's kind of like sometimes you might lose that ability to be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation because you've been so comfortable around people for so long. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I know college goes and comes really quickly, but it's still a long time that you're every day in, day out, where like I didn't really have to interact with any white people unless like, okay, I have a group work where I need to ask someone for like notes or something like that.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I think my college experience was like different from everybody's. For me, like I'd never chill in the student union or anything like that. Like me and all the boys in my course, like all of us would be chilling together. I think there was only 3 or 4 black people there. Everybody else was white. We'd always be together. If we go to the SU, all of us go as a class. If we go to Galway, we go as a class. It was never a thing.
That's nice though, I guess.
Bro, that was not for me, bro.
That's the dynamic there.
I had one black person in first year and they repeated and I moved on. Then the second year I had another black person.
They just really hurt.
Bro, I remember talking about it. What's harsh about that? But I wouldn't have to repeat.
No, niggas don't take college serious though. Like, they're not taking it serious.
Like, literally for me, my class, I didn't even really. I hung out with my class in probably like the last 2 weeks of final year, kind of a situation. I literally be the last one in the class, be the first one out, and I'll go right back to the niggas. Yeah, like that's it, kind of a situation. So it's just like
I hear that. I don't know. Anytime I hung out, I could just. One thing I realized when I was hanging out with a bunch of niggas, I don't know what it was. I felt uncomfortable.
But that's because you grew up on the other side.
But that's the thing. I grew up with a mix. Yeah. Anytime I was with niggas, there was a certain thing. Like this is, when I started going to Drogheda as well. Back then, I started going to Drogheda more and hanging around with the niggas out there. That's where I started mingling with more. And it was fun, but it was like I only like it for motive. Yeah. If there's no motive, I think it's just too much for me. I don't know.
Oh, okay, but this is the thing. How many times have you been called a white boy or an Orville or something like that?
Never.
Never?
Nobody has the balls to say that to me.
Okay. You're a big guy. No, okay, but the thing is, if you've grown up around so many white people,
I've never actually, like, nobody's ever disrespected me like that.
Okay, but the thing is, if you've grown up around so many white people, right, and, okay, because I have a friend, right, and he lives out in the country. Like, I'm talking, he lives in the country, bro. So, like, for him, he didn't really get black friends until a lot later. So when he was with black people, he's so assimilated to like being around white people and like their thing that when he was around black people, he felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, he didn't know how to act.
But then, like, the more he hung around,
like, he started getting more comfortable.
He got more comfortable. But so that might be a reason why when you were there with the black people, you're like, this is just weird.
Yeah, I just didn't like it though. Yeah, I think it's because I'm looking around and I'm just like these niggas would be chilling here, and then one nigga would leave and you're talking about him like he was just here. I'm like, I'm not used to this type of kind of bitchy.
Oh my god, ACS vibes.
Like it just didn't make sense to me. I'm like, the hell are you lot talking about? Like none of this stuff that you're talking about matters, and they'd be fighting over the dumbest things. I'm like, these niggas like kids or something. Like it just didn't make no sense to me. And then another thing, like my values just weren't aligned. All they cared about was drip. Looking the freshest, looking like they have the most. When everyone's broke, like niggas will be coming in full Louis Vuitton, Gucci, everything nice. But they'll be asking
for €2 for the bus.
Don't forget you owe me €2. Where's my 2? And you're almost fighting someone for
drip
2
is
quid.
Killing our people.
But you know what? For me, it's a complete it's flipped. Where for a lot of my life, I don't really drink now, anyways. But back when I was in college, I didn't drink. Do you get what I'm saying? And a lot of the boys, that's all they wanted to do. Do you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the white people, that's all they wanted to do.
Oh yeah, 100%. I didn't partake in all that after college,
bro. I didn't understand. Like I don't understand the concept of a pub. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we're just here and we're drinking and like, all right, cool. Yeah. And like we're drinking gallons of fucking pints. Like
I said this to him on the way up here.
Like
we're looking in. I'm just like, what is the value here? Just coming out for pints, like
I can't keep up with white people.
No, but what is it? Like I don't understand.
But like,
what's the appeal?
People are into that period. Like,
yeah, but like if that is the like core of your culture, and I don't partake in that, it's kind of like, how can I connect with you? Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what my biggest problem with a lot of white people has been. Yeah. It's like I'm not a drinker, so when the fucking when we'd have a team night out or whatever and go to a pub. I'm bored as fuck. I don't drink. I don't like. What am I doing here?
My threshold for points is so small too. Like it's like 3 or 4 points.
Like, do you not feel heavy after it?
Yeah.
First of all, it tastes like ass.
Yeah,
do you not feel like
I be getting girly drinks, and then they be saying, "Oh, you're not a real man. You're not a real man."
Yeah.
Let's get this point into you, and I'm like, this shit tastes like piss, bro.
It tastes like piss, and you're drinking like liters of like. I've literally like, oh, I had 12 pints last night.
And you see the way they brag.
Pictures is killing me, people.
You know. Getting their pictures out.
You can say anything to the Foster's €2, man. They're
what Dicey's? What €2 drinks? Stop.
Oh, that's crazy.
But like, do you get what I'm saying? So like, it's just that.
I
culture shock. Like, so for you, it might be like I do understand. There's bare niggas. Like for me, if I'm around niggas that all they care about is drip as well, I'm just like, move, man. Like I just don't care no. And it's not like you're doing this drip. Like, bro, half them banging CC. Like, bro,
that's what I'm saying. I just feel like at what point?
Don't come to me with mad drip and then ask me for €2 for the bus.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I just didn't like it, and I'm like, y'all niggas fake as hell. Like,
yeah, they wasn't really fake.
Like, all the others are fake. Like, I have a few black friends.
Not even matching and shit.
Like, yeah, literally. Like, I have more black friends that I consider like close to me than white friends.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of friends from both sides.
Yeah.
But it'd be very like. It's a healthy mix.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I like to keep it that way because I know the real ones around me. I don't need all that other stuff. Like if I want to have for a motive, okay, I know who to go to.
Yeah.
To have some fun. You know, but you're the same nigga that would steal from me too and help me look for the thing that you just stole.
But that's actually
black people,
healthy.
we have a lot of work to do.
You know them ones like.
But I think that's healthy though.
Like
what?
Too many.
Stealing from you?
No, not the stealing.
No, having the healthy mix.
Having the mix.
No, I think it is. I'm actually jealous of that.
Too many people have a core group of people that they want to extract everything from.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't come to me about serious shit. Right now, you can see that my life is about partying.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to tell me about your pension? Bro, I don't care. Do you get what I'm saying? Or somebody that they're on like, I'm trying to cure cancer, and you're telling me that you want me to be going to go and do Iron Napa, bro. It's not my brand.
It's
Do you get what I'm
dead
saying?
ass.
Like, and obviously there are people that are chameleons and switch over. Do you get what I'm saying? But like, I know some certain people to not call for a holiday because I'm going to be bored as fuck. Then I know certain people that if I go with him, I might not come back, and that's what I want. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But some people, like, at least you try to extract everything from the same people, and it's like, then they start getting frustrated.
That's me. Sorry. That's like what I'm going through right now. I think it's like okay to during the when you do go through this whole navigating period of your life, don't be surprised or sad if the person you thought you were isn't who you are now. And it's okay to let people go. It's okay to outgrow friendships. It's okay to not be into the things that you were in final year. Like if you don't want to go out drinking anymore like 3 times a week, that's fine. You have a 9 to 5 now. Like you're not the same person. So I think thank you. I really resonated with that message. So thank you.
Man, you know, I've been speaking the truth. Goddamn,
Yes,
messages in there.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like you're holding on to the fact that
the time
you've had it for so long.
Yeah, these are my childhood friends, so I don't want to lose it. But it's like if they're
sneak this in for 5.
Like, bro.
Yeah.
I hate each other.
Yeah, and you know what it is as well. Like
that's crazy.
When your situation changes, your friends change sometimes as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why
100 billion
do you know how many friends that you guys could have been friends for 20 years, but it's friends by coincidence, like or consequence, because like. They were your neighbor, so you guys just saw each other every day.
It was like a friendship made out of convenience.
You don't talk anymore. That's just like 100% fact.
That's college, especially because that guy that was your bro in college, it's just because you guys saw each other every single day. Move away, see what happens.
That's it.
Like that's just it, and it's like being comfortable with understanding that people are going to come through your life and go as well.
Yeah,
like in my whole college experience, there's only 2 friends that I constantly keep up to date with, constantly. You know, and I'm going to record a podcast with him after this, and I'm linking up with the other guy after. You know, like they're the only friendships that I've kept afterwards, because I felt like, okay, these are the necessary ones. You know, I can discard the rest.
Yeah,
you know, the other ones, like they're just kind of there in that moment in time. So
it's just like carrying around dead weight.
You know, I just don't see the point in all of that stuff. So I like, for me, everywhere I go, I select, okay, you'd be a good friend, I'd keep you. You know, everybody else, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But that's because the thing is, people take
very selective.
People take the word acquaintance as like as
a negative
thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, think about it this way, right, bro? You have your house and you have storage. The acquaintances you put in storage because you use them once in a while.
Yeah.
The things that you have in your house is the things that you need. Those are your niggas. It's like, those are your friends.
Yeah, good.
Do you know what I'm saying? But like, just because I don't speak to you all the time doesn't mean I don't fuck with you. Do you know what I'm saying? When I see you at a party, oh my god,
yeah.
And then we'll speak for another 2 years. That's it, and it's calm.
But that's the beauty in it.
Yeah.
Because it's like 10 years could go by and the vibes will still be the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the love is still there. Mm-hmm. It's just like I don't need to be talking to you every single day. Like all my closest friends, I don't talk to them like that.
Yeah.
One is living in Germany. We talk when we talk. Like sometimes we'll schedule. Okay, cool. What you do this weekend? Okay, let's schedule a call because the both of us are extremely busy. So we actually need to schedule in a time to talk on the phone.
Yeah.
You know, rather than if you have everybody close proximity, your mind will just like if you have friends and you're staying busy and they're staying busy, you link up when you know when the time just matches perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, that's the best time because you'll cherish it more and it's something that will last.
But you know what? I do think that we're all of the same ilk because there are some people that they have to have that constant.
That doesn't make sense to me, man.
But we just might just because for me, I know I'm kind of like an outsider. Like I've kind of always been, like I don't really fit in. Like even all my friends are all individuals. I don't have like a group of friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Same.
But I know some people like they have to have that
group,
like a squad, squad type of
and like
thing.
they have to be like together all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, bro, the closest people to me, I don't have pictures with them. Like,
deadass, bro. I have one. I got one at my sister's baby shower. That was the only one I've gotten. We've been friends for years,
bro.
All of us in one place at a time. Crazy.
I have friends that I've been friends with for 20 years plus, and well, about 20 years now. And bro, the last picture that I have with this guy was our dips.
Oh my god.
Dami, don't used to have pictures with Dami because of the podcast. I have other friends that I don't think we have one picture together, that's my dog. This person knows deep dark things that will ruin me. No, one picture.
Bro, that is sick. That just a story just reminded me of something there because I remember in secondary school there was this guy and he called me a nigger or whatever, and that was back then in school. People used to be scared of me, and this was a new guy, and because he didn't know me. So he said it and people were just like, oh, don't just come in. But for me, inside, I don't like fighting. You know, I just wanted to come and scare him because I thought my name alone would be enough. This guy wasn't scared of me, you know. So then one thing led to another, and a teacher, like one of my best friends, he's the one that told me, he never hung around with me in school. We never hung around with each other. He hung around with like the smokers and the people that did whatever. But I was always playing basketball and doing sports, so nobody would even think that we were remotely friends.
Yeah.
He was with them. He tiptoed over and said, he just called you a nigger over there because he kicked the ball over or whatever. I said, oh yeah, okay, cool. He went back over. I went over and the guy started swinging for me. One thing led to another. The teacher grabbed me, even though he's the guy that swung for me first. But that always happens. Yeah, teacher grabbed me. Now this guy is running towards me. He has an open shot. My hands are behind my back, and my friend that hangs around there came out of nowhere, clapped him, disappeared into the crowd. He lost all. He was in their class as well, and they never. It's like, why did you do that? It's like not knowing that he's
that's
actually
my dog.
That's my bro.
Yeah. So I think we're in this social media phase where like people are so used to everything's on Snapchat, everything's on Instagram, everything is say it again, bro. Say it again.
Yeah, say it again.
You know what I'm saying? But whereas like if I'm hanging out with Dami and we're not podcasting, we're not doing content or whatever. The phone doesn't come out. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like
enjoying each other company.
Yeah, and I think I said to JJ, I feel like that's missing. Like, do you have enough people around you that you don't need to? Because if I'm with you and I don't think about my phone, it's because I'm having a good time. Yeah. But I'm trying to compensate for us not having a great time if I bring my phone out, just to show people that, look at me, I have a friend, I'm hanging out with someone. But it's like your friends, like your real friends you talk about like deep life shit with, you don't need to broadcast it. You know what I mean? And I think even with us, we spoke about it before on the pod, like Digi and I have been very close for a long time, but we never saw each other because he was here, I was in Galway, and we'd speak occasionally on the phone, but I always knew that no matter what I could call him, but I knew that I wasn't going to see him anytime soon. So now that we are doing the podcast, it's like wait, you guys know each other? Like, how did you even? But it's like, no, this has been my boy for time. Do you know what I mean? But
we'd probably been tight for about like
8 years,
4 or 5 years before people even knew that we even really knew each other.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And like, it's just funny.
And it was an actual friendship, like not like, oh my god, DG, let me get out my phone. It was like an actual like, oh my god, like if I have a problem, I'll tell him.
Yeah, it's not often you get that. Bro.
Yeah,
you know? And that's another thing. Another thing I've realized is, you know, with women, I feel like it's difficult for you guys to maintain friendships for some reason. Like, so much so that a lot of women even use like friendship apps to try and find friends. Like, I know some in Ireland that do that to try and find friends. And I'm just like, that's so interesting, because you think by looking that they have loads of friends, but they have friends but no like friends.
Yeah.
And girls always beefing on this, like
it just didn't make no sense to me.
But you know what, as an adult, it's so hard to make friends. It's so hard to make friends as an adult.
Yeah.
Because in school and college, like, you're just always in so many random places.
Yeah.
Like, you're just around people, like, randomly, like, you can be in college and someone's friend came to come and visit them, and then now you guys are chilling, and then that's how you know somebody from Cork and blah, blah, blah. But now, bro, I go to work and I come home. Where am I seeing anybody? And then
that is facts.
And then, like, okay, so I went through this phase, right, where I got mad depressed and everything. I just stopped I stopped going places. I stopped saying yes to everything, right? And then I'd go to work, I'd come back, and nobody would invite me anywhere. And because nobody's invited me anywhere, I can't go meet people for people to invite me places. So then you're kind of stuck in this situation, like, what the fuck do I do?
There's nothing that you can do.
How the hell am I going to make friends to go? Like, I want to do this, but I need friends to do this.
That's literally how I feel right now.
To go have friends.
That's crazy.
Like, how do you make friends as an adult? Like,
it's difficult.
Like, it's crazy. Like,
did you overcome it?
No, see, what happened was, you get depressed from other elements, and you get too caught up in that fact that, like, you don't have the option to go places, and that you don't want to go places either. So then I always retreat naturally back to, I need to work on myself.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, it's not like in the shows where the nerdy kid has some mad like character arc where they're suddenly outgoing again. It's kind of like, as you work on yourself, it both benefits together. They work in tandem. Like, your ability to become outgoing again works with your increased confidence and like progression in yourself. So that's where I found I developed it from.
That's sick.
I like, it's weird because you then just like develop this kind of like weird social anxiety. Like,
COVID gave me that big time.
Bro, man, like, I went to the beach yesterday, and I was like, because my brother called me to go to the beach to pick him up or whatever. And I was like, bro, I know nobody here. And I was like, I don't even know if I know how to have fun anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's kind of a situation where I caught myself over a period. It's like, I'd go out and I'd be out, but
you're still
I haven't spoken to a single person. So it's kind of like, you're trying to go make friends and stuff like that. And it's like, you've gone out, but people, you need to leave some memory. Something where it's like, I want to hang out with that person again. But you go out and you don't speak to anybody. When people talk about it, you were there?
Yeah. You're just chilling in the background.
You were there.
Like, you were there? Do you get what I mean?
Damn.
I'm telling the man story and you'd be like, yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And it's
very
just
interesting.
like, also, what I find with a lot of girls as well is like, just being afraid to put yourself out there. Like, you know that person that you have on social media that we've never met, but you like all my shit, I like all your shit.
Yeah.
I might comment.
Yeah.
Shoot your shot.
That's facts.
Rhetoric for women. It's like, women have to empower women. So it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, that like, when women are friends, it's built on empowering each other. If they don't really know each other like that.
Switching to Geico is a good idea, especially when you consider everything.
First off, Geico makes it easy to switch. They have licensed agents available 24/7 online or over the phone.
But if it's so easy, you might start thinking everything is easy, even big wave surfing. And it's not. It's actually quite difficult.
Well, if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds on car insurance. And you could keep saving by bundling your motorcycle, boat, and RV, plus your home or renter's insurance.
But saving money might lead you to make some questionable purchases, like a 20-foot feather boa. And do you know how hard it is to clean a 20-foot feather boa?
Well, they do have an industry-leading mobile app you can use to pay your bill, file and manage a claim, or add a new driver.
But when life gets a little easier, it makes you too confident. And you start calling everyone Ace. And you're better than that.
Well, Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating and has been saving people money for 85 years. It's hard to beat that.
But you're right.
Switch to Geico. It's obviously a good idea.
Life gets a lot more magical when you dream. So let's dream of a vacation unlike any other. A magical Disney cruise.
Hiya, pal!
Where new stories meet tales as old as time.
Enchanté, mon ami!
And your family will be cared for the moment you step aboard. Sail from Florida to Disney's private island paradise and get ready for a dream come true with Disney Cruise Line.
So the second they go against that, it's like a betrayal. Like it comes off to me anyway. And that's how like it's such small margins with female friendship. Like a female friendship can get cut if the girl says something wrong one day. It's all about telling each other. Whereas us as guys, we can roast each other, and it's like almost built on the opposite. Like
we can fight and be honest.
If I
like
roast you, that's my impairment. I actually like you that much because low key I rate you so much as a person.
Yeah.
Well, let these jokes fly.
And if it gets too far, we'll fight.
Yeah.
And after we fight, it's over. But you know what? I have literally seen friendships with girls break down because of literally nothing. Like it's just one of those things where they think someone thinks something.
It just never made no sense. Why are she's smiling so intently? Like she knows what's going on.
Girls have so many different politics, right? Like the thing is, a girl might think that their friend is doing something or is doing something maliciously
because they said something a specific way,
and then instead of addressing it, they will now do their own little and then now it's a back and forth, and then now you guys don't fuck with each other no more, and it's literally because of nothing. Like it's so crazy.
I thought this and you thought that, not even correlated at all, and this whole thing just ended for nothing.
Well, I think women friendships go through a honeymoon phase though.
Definitely.
Because girls will meet a girl in the club. They'll go on holidays with each other.
Yeah.
They'll be with each other all the time in all their Instagram pictures. Then 6 months later, never seen each other again.
I think.
Oh my god, you're so pretty phrase.
Yeah, they love saying that.
I think it depends on the situation, though. I don't think I can make a friend right now and have a honeymoon phase. I think, but I do understand. Like, I have a friend who. Well, so can I actually call her my friend? Okay, so there's this specific girl who, whenever I post stuff, she says, "Oh, you look so pretty," blah, 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 whatever. And I do the same to her. Mm-hmm. And then she invited me to her birthday weekend. Mm-hmm. And, you know, so she invited her girls and she invited me, and I got there and we were all talking. So we're like, "Oh, so how do you know?" They asked me, "How do you know?" Blah, blah, blah. I was like, this is actually my first time hanging out with her. Yeah. And they're like, "How is this your first time hanging out with her at her birthday weekend?" And I was like, "Oh, you know, we just kind of vibed online, and then I ended up making other friends there who then invited me to other things." But I think
the fact that you took that step to actually go at your comfort zone,
that's what I was gonna say, because that was so hard for me to do. And even my other friends were like, "Why the fuck would you show up to someone's birthday if
that is crazy.
This is your first time meeting her?" I'm like, "Well, she invited me."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it ended up being, remember I told you, it ended up being like one of the best weekends I've had this year. So I think that for me was putting myself out there, but she invited me. I wouldn't just show up. So I think my struggle now with trying to put myself out there is like,
how?
I need y'all to invite me places.
Do you
know what I mean?
But this is the thing though, like my thing is always like that person, because like I've been on the flip side of a girl might be planning something that's like, if I heard like you guys like you vibe in the school or whatever, I'll be weird if I invite her. Like we don't really know each other like that. But just invite her. You know what I'm saying? Like all of those girls that you're talking about, like literally just hit her up like, "Hey, let's do something." 9 times out of the 10, it's gonna be
they're gonna say like, "Oh my god,
you know what I'm saying?
I've waited for someone."
She thinks.
I said I feel like 90% of girls would say yes if you offered to take them or to go out somewhere. Like, you seem really nice.
Girls are just looking for a reason to get pretty and go somewhere.
I'd love to link up with you. Maybe go for some food or some lunch.
I'm gonna try it.
Who's gonna say no to that? Think about it.
I keep telling you.
If someone pulled up to you and said that and hit you in the DM or whatever, you like each other's pictures or whatever,
I would go.
But you know what it is?
I think you're overestimating, and you just want. It's like, this is what it is. You just want to be like a guy. You want the guy to make the first move. You want the girl to make the first move. And the both of you are looking at each other like, who's going to make it?
They're both strategically positioning themselves with the likes and the like sharing on Instagram and shit.
Nobody's going to make the first move.
And the thing about it is, I feel like girls inherently think other girls are bitchy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, because I could ask Dami, like, Dami, right? This girl likes yourself, blah, 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 blah. If she said, hey, Dami, do you want to hang out? You're like, oh my God, yeah, why not? But if I tell Dami to go ask her, she'd be like, oh, but like, we don't really know each other. Like, do you know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, the same way that you would say yeah is the same way that she'd say yeah. And the thing is, if she says no, you're in the same place that you're in now. Yeah. You're in a win-win. Yeah. But I think a lot of people are afraid to look like, like that's one thing. Oh, a bag. People think they want to look like a bag. Yeah.
I don't want to look like a bag. They care so much about it. This is one thing I'm big on. I don't care about what anybody has. Nobody thinks. Like, I literally couldn't care less what somebody has to say or think about me. If you have a bad impression, cool, keep that to yourself. An uncle at a party, if they say, look at me and say, oh no, this he wasn't raised properly or whatever, you know, like, and they'd be looking at my parents like they didn't raise me right. Like, in my head, I'm like, I don't care what you have to say. But people care so much.
You need to understand, that's a superpower. That's not something that everybody has.
To be honest, but that's the thing, I didn't know that until now. Like, now I'm realizing, I'm like, you really care that much about what they have to say about you? Like, it doesn't make any sense. You know?
But bro, man, like everyone has their own superpower. That's yours. Like, you just might.
What's yours?
I think mine is the ability to just not give a fuck. Like, no matter what the situation is, I can just like, alright, cool, remove the emotion out of it and just do what I need to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
Turn robotic.
Yeah. Oh, bro, man. Fam, they used to call me a robot back in the day. Yeah. Like, it just is what it is. But
I think mine's like having ADHD levels of just doing different shit all the time. Prevent myself from overthinking. Like, like, I'll just get up and do some random shit. Okay, let's skip. Do you know what I mean? I'll just like whenever I feel like I'm slipping into the, you know, the abyss of overthinking, it's just like get out of it quick. So that's like my superpower, because the second I start overthinking, it has coverage on every aspect of my life, every single person in my life. So I'm sitting there going, why am I in this? Why am I actually? What does Deji think of me? Or like, what does Deji? What did they even think of me? Like, did they even like? Do you know what I mean?
Bro, that's my thought process, bro. Like, I overthink like a bitch. Bro, I would be overthinking. Like, bro, sometimes there's shit that I've said in 6th class. I'm like, why did I say it in that way? Or you know, you see something like, fuck, I sound like a fucking loser. Then I'm sitting there 2 weeks later. Why did you say that?
Bro, that never happened. Would drop me off tonight. I'd go, oh, that was a sick time with Tunji. Does he even fuck with me like that?
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy,
like, bro. I started thinking mad, like,
bro.
That's mad.
My brain, like, because I went through a bit of therapy earlier on this year, and she's like,
"That's sick that you go to therapy.
You live in your head," and I was like, "Do you know what happened to me?" So right, for the longest, I've been so unproductive and just slow and just haven't been doing anything. And the thing is, right, I do this thing where I'm thinking about what I need to do, and I'm thinking about it. And I'm thinking about it,
and
then a week goes by and it's not done. But I've been thinking about it. I can see myself doing it. I'm picturing myself doing it. But it's like, yeah, cool. I'll do this thing at 10 o'clock. It's 10:01, bro. I can't do that 10:01. That's 10:10, innit? 10:10, innit? 10:11. Yeah. 10 half. Like, it has to be round.
Yeah.
And then now it's 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Like, I said I do stuff. I didn't say I was productive.
Yeah, but like
that overthinking thing that you just mentioned, like, I feel like I'm not an overthinker at all. You know, like I'm the complete opposite.
You have the perfect life.
No, but I think it's because like my girl is a big overthinker, massive overthinker. So I'm trying to navigate how to work around that.
Yeah.
Because in my head it's like I can literally think about nothing.
Yeah.
Dead ass. Like, I'll be chilling in the car, and if it's quiet, like, she'll be thinking, oh my god, what's he thinking? Is he this? But in my head, I'm just like there's nothing going on in there. Nothing.
Like, it's so weird. I feel like I'm a mixture of the two, because like in the front of my head, blank. In the back of my head, it's working. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, it's working. Kind of situation.
Yeah. That's mad. But so, like, how would you combat it? Like, how do you? Because that seems like something that's not difficult.
It is difficult.
You don't combat it.
You learn to adjust.
You have to kind of live with it.
Yeah.
From what my therapist, when I was with her, what she was telling me is like, okay, you just need to do things. Actually do things. She's like, take a walk. Just get up, do something. Like, be active, get out of your head kind of situation. Because it's like, I could easily say the past like couple years I have lived my whole life in my head kind of situation, but the time has passed me by without doing anything because I'm just focused in my head. But I find out when you go for a walk, you come back and it's like, what the fuck was I even thinking about?
Yeah.
Fam, it's cold outside.
It's weird. Do you know what the podcast thing's done for me too though? It's allowed me to like develop an alter ego.
Yes, I was gonna say that. Yeah.
But you know, I did it because I edit it too. I did a podcast, being Flagrant Dave, I don't know, like Introspective Dave or Stupid Dave, or regardless. I did that. I went then home, did the journey back, sat on my laptop, looked and go, what the fuck was I on about? And I start overthinking it again, going crazy.
Bro, do you know how many times I've like, I sound like a fucking idiot right now. I'm gonna cut this whole shit out. And then it's kind of
I used to be like that.
It was like it was a different person on that camera talking right there, and I'm the editor on the other day.
And it doesn't even sound like you as well. It sounds like a completely different person. Yeah. And like the thing is, everybody else is like, "Oh, you spitting." I'm like, I sound like a fucking
Do you know what? Do you know what? I think it's liberating though. Like I can't believe. Sometimes I cannot believe. Like when people come up to me and say things that I've said, I'm like, ooh, they're like in my world. But it's like you put yourself out there. Like sometimes I cannot believe that I'm on a podcast. Like, because the way I look at myself, I'm so shy and I have social anxiety. But it's like I'm talking for people to listen to me, and you can't control who listens. Do you know what I mean? Even doing this, like I don't know you, like, but we're here, like, do you know what I mean?
It's crazy,
and it's comfortable.
It's weird,
like,
yeah. So it is liberating. I listen back and I'm like, oh damn, you're actually kind of funny, you know, or whatever. But if you ask me to go on stage and say something, I might be like, oh, I can't, but I can. I just have to channel the Dammy Duro that does all this shit, but Dammy, the normal Dammy, is like, no, I can't. So it's weird. It's like two people. I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm like a tortured artist. Like unless it's like a straight 10 out of 10 podcast,
bro.
If it's even at 8.5,
bro, it's not going up.
I'm like wincing at my laptop.
Guy, do you know how many times I've recorded a podcast? It'll be like, oh, how'd the podcast go? I was like, it's fucking shit. It was horrible. It was ass.
And then you listen back like, and it's like really good. That's happened to us like twice now.
It happened like a while ago. We had a podcast and I was like me and Dan were talking about it. It was like, I was so bored during this podcast. I was recording this podcast. I was like, this is ass. This is the most boring thing ever. Then I listened back there. I was like, it was fine. Like,
I think it's because it's like it becomes second nature.
Yeah.
You're just kind of talking and you listen back. You're like, oh, that was a good conversation.
But one thing that I did learn how to do as well is because like at first, when you see numbers like 12 listens. You see 15 listens.
I don't check the stats.
I don't check all that shit. Like I just, for anybody that wants to listen should listen. I'm not like.
I went on Anchor to actually upload one ironically, and I was like, 5 listens.
Yeah, but
bro,
the thing is,
like that's all right, man.
But the thing is, what I then started doing was like, you know, when you see numbers, you think about numbers. But when you actually think about it, like
4 people,
50 people. Have you seen 50 people? Like,
do you get me?
Pull 50 people in front of you right now, and you'd be like,
that's a lot of people. Could you sit in front of 50 people and talk on the microphone?
You couldn't.
There
that's
you go.
The thing.
Yeah.
Like 50 people chose to listen to what you have to say.
Yeah, like so. I started looking at every listen as a person, not as a number. Because if you look at it as a number, 2 is fucking low. 2 is fucking low. 5 is fucking low.
Using their own time, which is something that's a resource you can never get back.
Yeah,
they're using their time to listen to you. 2 people.
Yeah,
like. That is sick.
It's crazy. Like, and it's just like
it's all about perspective, and that's another thing. True. I think the reason why I'm so like level-headed is because perspective. As soon as I came to college, my goal was to
be rich.
Well, be rich. That was the ultimate goal, but it was self-development. You know? Self-development, because I felt like the guy I was in secondary school was a bit childish, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to college now. Now is the time to start gaining knowledge. So I'd get books on like mindset and all of that stuff to try and change perspective, and then I'm realizing like nothing matters. Like the reason why I don't care what anyone thinks is because
it doesn't matter.
Nothing matters. Like I mean, you really understand that concept. Like what you think about me, it doesn't matter because it's not going to take food from my mouth. It's not going to take money from my mouth. Like it'll only take time, which is the only resource that like time and land are limited resources. You know, so you try to keep as much time as you can, which is why you try and get freedom as soon as possible. And with time, with with land, there's only a certain amount of land in the world you can buy, so that's why you buy up as much as possible.
Exactly.
You know, so those two aspects, it's like, okay, you know, if I'm thinking about what your opinion of me is, I'm giving you my time, and I can't get that back.
Yeah.
Let me put it somewhere else, but this thing takes work. I started from first year, and I built myself all the way up to where I am now, like numerous hours on books, reading, audiobooks, podcasts, so much time. But people think that I was just like this.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
stop. I hate that.
It takes
like,
a lot
so
of work.
lucky.
This was
if
a
somebody tells me that
process.
shit, I'm like, bro. I have a family member, and it's like, oh, you're so lucky that you got your degree and you got a good job. I was like, were you there with me when I was writing exams? Were you there with me when I was doing?
That's stress.
Yeah. So somebody be like, oh my god, you're so lucky that your body's like that, bro. You were with me in the gym. You were with me doing this kind of situation. Yeah. But what I would say is, what I want to know, actually, what's your superpower?
I don't think I have one.
That's not true.
Do you know what? Right. I think my superpower is my ability to be like, to switch between serious and not serious.
Okay,
like I can get really technical with you guys now and talk about T cells and constituents and stuff if I want. But then I can also, I think it's like fun because I think, you know how sometimes people meet you and they might not expect you to be like smart or whatever. Like I can say something to completely shock you guys and then switch it around and be like tee or something, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's fun to do that. I think catch people off guard.
It's good. It's good.
Mid conversation, we could be talking about some serious shit. Down you come out with some stupid question like, did you like, you see toes? Like why? Just like so stupid, and I'm like, where the fuck did that come from?
I like throwing people off. I think it's funny.
I think I like doing that too in podcasts.
Yeah.
You know what though? When I was doing TSC, right? Like, I could see that sometimes the people that I was like, learning how to be comfortable in front of a mic is a skill kind of situation.
Oh, definitely.
So we started, and Moyo wasn't being Moyo. Like, he was being this weird shell of himself. So then I just started doing this thing where I'd overcorrect and I'd just say some wild shit, and then they'd be like, "The fuck's happening?" But just to shock people. But anyways, I was gonna say, now that everyone's given their superpower, what do you think your biggest weakness is?
Ooh,
because everyone always talks about the good shit.
I think for me, I could be obsessive. So
Deji has that too, I think.
Oh, bro, I'm an obsessive prick.
I can be obsessive.
I think mine might be obsessive too.
Yeah.
Damn.
Mine's overthinking. Mine's overthinking.
So basically, men are obsessive.
Yeah.
Well, to a degree, all three men in here probably have egos. Like,
yeah, and so like that's number one, and then number two is like the way I always think I'm right. Even though, like, a lot of the times
red flag.
A lot of the times I be proving it. Like, yeah, see, I told you. So, you know, like,
I had a lot of the time though.
You know,
but the thing is like,
but I can also admit when I'm wrong, and
Okay.
I'm also willing to learn. I'm
Okay.
very quick learner. If I know I'm wrong, I'm like, okay, I might not admit it. Sometimes I'll admit it. Sometimes I won't.
Are you like an introspective person? Like, you proper sit down and you think about shit. Like,
oh yeah.
Okay, but then that's why though.
Very deeply.
Because I feel the same. Like, I'm right a lot of the time. When you say it out loud, it sounds really
doesn't it?
It sounds like a prick. But the thing is, I don't think you understand. I have spent hours sitting down thinking about this shit. Like, I've looked at it from every single angle.
And do you know what hurts you is, what Dami said, everybody has different facets to themselves. So it hurts you when you think some guy that just thinks air all the time is correcting you and stuff. Because you think in your head you're the only one in the world that can be introspective. Every other human has that instilled in them to be introspective.
It's not that I don't think it's everyone has it to be introspective, but how I break down situations is like, all right, cool, this is me. Okay, wait, what are you thinking? Why are you thinking that? How are you thinking that? Kind of situation.
Where did for you to think like that? Where did that come from? Then I go all the way back. Okay, what was their childhood like? What did they go through while they were young? You know, was somebody not there? What was that person? How did they treat them? Is that the way they think now? Like, I be going, I be going right to the root, and I'm kind of building a hypothesis up to where you are in the moment. Like, it's crazy.
But the only thing that annoys me about me is that I'm too understanding, and being too understanding is bad because people take advantage of that shit.
100%.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because like, I'm like
100%, bro.
I don't get angry about some certain things because I'm like, I get why you did that. But the thing is, just because I understand why you did it doesn't mean I don't have to check you.
Yeah.
I still gotta check it. Like I get why you did it, but it doesn't matter why you did it. You did it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like let's say like you have a kid now, right? And they go and they steal a lollipop or something, and it's like, oh, they didn't really have any, blah blah. Everyone else had blah blah. You understand why they did it, and you be like, I understand why you did it. I'm not mad, right? But I've got to check it, because if I don't, you might become a fucking kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, that's where, like I said, like, a lot of the times it's like superpower, because, like, we right most of the time. Yeah. But you let so much shit slide. Yeah. That now it gets to a place where, have you ever, like, okay, I explained it this way, right? There's sometimes you have to pretend like you're mad about things that you're not really mad about. Like, right, if I come to you, right, and I poke you, and I have a thing where every time I see you, I poke you. The first 500 times, it's not going to be a bother. But that 501, why the fuck are you poking me? But it's like,
the less you don't address it, the more easy it will be.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it probably took us 3 years to get to 501. Yeah. Bro, I've been doing this for 3 years. Why are you getting mad now? Now I look like the crazy one.
Okay, no, I hear what you're saying. Ooh, I can hear that. I can see how that can bite you later.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. You need to address that shit ASAP.
But the thing is, if you're one who's like, I get why you did it, and it's like, I'm thinking about other shit. I'm not too worried about it.
I hear that.
Do you get what I'm saying?
But you're talking about correcting people in the context that affects you.
Yeah.
Like what action they've committed, what view they've cast on you, it affects you. Or have you tried correcting people on like stuff unpertaining?
No. If I don't give my advice unless you ask my advice, bro.
Okay.
Like,
actually, that's another thing. I've been giving unwarranted advice.
See, that's my whole thing.
I got a problem with that. I give unwarranted advice.
Like
if you say, "Oh, I'm so broke this week," I'm like, "Oh, really?" Well, I should tell you, wait, this is how you can be able to set yourself up. Like, then I start going into my finance head, and they're not asking that. They're just trying to vent.
An underrated thing to do in life is to just listen.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Hear out the problems, because by you doing that, you're actually like forcing your ideologies on them.
Yeah.
And that's not what they ask for.
They just want their pain to be heard and just their feelings to be validated.
Yeah, and it took me a while to understand that. Sometimes somebody doesn't want an answer. They just want to say,
they want
man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then get over it. Like, I don't want to be like, bro, especially like in like romantic relationships in the past. It's like, she be telling me about something, and I'm like, alright, cool, like, okay, this is how we can fix it. I'm not looking for an answer. I don't want to fix it.
The psychoanalysts they've had to train hard in doing that, like being able to distinguish giving someone advice and just listen to them. Yeah. Because it's dangerous. Because in whatever field you're doing, like psychotherapy and like whatever, in depression or whatever instance, like if you can say something to someone in a vulnerable state so much, it'll shake them and they'll believe it. So like if you had a therapist that was dealing with someone like in the pits of depression, and they told them enough that they're depressed now they might be in the pits of depression, but they're not yet suicidal. A therapist can tell them, oh no, you might be suicidal, you need to take this, you take they didn't initially think that, but you've shaped their character now with your ideologies. Facts. That's why it's harmful.
Yeah,
I hear that.
See, that's why every time I give advice, I say, what do I know?
I'll be like, anyway, who am I?
Yeah, listen,
who am I?
Make your decision.
Another thing is that I can be way too logical.
You know,
like way too logical. Like my girl will be telling me all these things, and I'm just like, like it seems like it's not really an issue in my head. Yeah, it's not an issue because I can't see myself in that. In that
that's
scenario.
Where the listening comes in. And just
and that's what I'm starting to learn now.
Well, you know what I had to learn? That I used to think logic was this black and white thing. Yeah. But I realized that logic isn't the same for everyone, bro. So that's why it's like I'm so logical, but the thing is my logic and your logic are two different logics. So you think you're logical too and I think I'm logical. It's like, it's not the same. That once I learned that fucked me up. That fucked me the fuck up. So I was like, I might have been wrong.
That's why nobody wins these introspective Olympics, man. Nobody wins.
That's facts.
Let's go. What's your weaknesses?
Not weaknesses. I think my biggest weakness so far is that I'm not great at looking at the bigger picture. So whatever I feel right now is like, this is final. This is the reality, and it's never going to change. I struggle to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's a weakness because it affects like relationships. It affects my mood. Like you said, I could go, God forbid, I could go broke tonight. And then I'm like, okay, that's the end. Like, I'm going to be broke forever. My kids are going to be broke because of me, kind of thing. Whereas I need to be able to be a bit more logical when things happen. Like, okay, this is bad for now, but you will get out of it. I kind of rely on people, for example, like, say someone like JJ, I rely on his... It's weird. It's like, because I know that you don't give a shit about a lot of things, I rely on that, because if something bad happens to me, and after speaking to him, I'm like, okay, it's going to be fine, Damien. But I need to be able to do that for myself, because I can't keep relying on him to give me assurance that it'll be okay.
I'm like that more, man.
So I think that's like my biggest weakness. I need to be better at looking at the bigger picture. And then I think my other weakness is I'm like, is overthinking a weakness? Because it's not something. Okay, but thank you.
Like I don't really know how to see it. I just see something like it just is.
Yeah, it just
I'm
is.
an overthinker.
So,
like, is it? Should you put it in a negative connotation, or is it just?
It can be your friend and your enemy. Because sometimes the overthought, like, it can be you could have nailed it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What someone always thought about you.
But the percentage of nailing it rather than not nailing it, what would the percentages be?
I think it depends.
Like
it depends where you are in your life.
40 in favour of you were way off. Like,
right.
But sometimes you can overthink something. With overthinking sometimes comes confrontation. Sometimes you can get your answer because you overthought. You went, fuck, I'm going to confront them. And they went, yeah, do you know what? I don't like you.
Well, actually, now that you bring it up,
I was right.
You can be your friend sometimes.
And then the last thing is that I'm a control freak.
Red flag.
Thank you.
I was just saying about
You've been waiting for me to say something.
He sat there and he was like, I'm gonna get you.
I could have said anything. He would have been like, yeah, red flag.
But
yeah, I'm a control freak, kind of.
I hear that.
For me, procrastinator, that's my weakness.
Yeah.
That's me.
That's you. Speaking to you.
You know what? The funny thing is, like,
to all of us, I think.
Fam, my number one is probably overthinking. The thing is, it's a superpower in the way of, like, if you're telling me one of your plans, right? My first thing is, okay, what can go wrong? All right, cool. If that goes wrong, we can do this. If that goes wrong, we can do this. If that goes wrong, we can do this. So then, we're ready for all angles. But then,
when you get Xfinity Internet, Flex is included free, and finding what to watch on TV is now as easy as popcorn. Show me my favorites. Yes, live soccer. This is how easy it is to find my favorite content, all in one place. And for Xfinity Internet customers, it all starts at free with Xfinity Flex. This is a way better way to watch.
Learn how to get a great offer on Xfinity Internet. Plus, add a free Flex 4K streaming box. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply.
Life gets a lot more magical when you dream. So let's dream of a vacation unlike any other. A magical Disney cruise.
Hiya, pal!
Where new stories meet tales as old as time.
Enchanté, mon ami!
And your family will be cared for the moment you step aboard. Sail from Florida to Disney's private island paradise and get ready for a dream come true with Disney Cruise Line.
like, literally, this is not no joke. This has been one of my thought processes one time, right? Let's say we went to a party and I was like, what? Mm-hmm. I've literally sat there and been like, why the fuck did you put your hands up? Like, is it really that fucking deep? Like, yeah. Like, I swear to God, and I was like, you just, like, why? Like, wow. Like, I was like, is that even you? Is that even your brand? Is that your character? Like, is that you're that guy now? Yeah. And I'm just like, and I put myself to like, wow, you're a loser, bro.
You know what? We are our biggest critics. It's so weird.
That's actually another thing.
It is so weird.
I think for me, it's never good enough.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Like, no matter what I do,
I should be here by now.
Enough.
I should be doing this by now. You need someone to shake you and be like, shut up, you're doing amazing.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, like, because I don't care about what people say.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what anybody says.
People will be telling you you're doing so well. Like, I just look and I'm like, nah, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
It's never good enough. Like,
you need to balance that though.
Yeah.
Maintain your like, it's good to strive to be a better person, but don't negate all the things you have accomplished.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, nobody on their deathbed is going to tell you, oh,
You could have.
I wish I got a 1-1. Like that's not what.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So push for the best version of yourself, but don't negate all the things you've
That's the thing. The best version of myself.
Yeah.
Is better.
It's always better.
Yeah, but you're gonna get there. It's baby steps.
You know what? I disagree. I disagree. I don't think you'll ever get there.
Yeah, because I don't know if I ever want to get there.
I don't think it's possible to get there.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, at every single stage, you've wanted what you have now. Like you were in school. I want to get to college. Can't wait to get to college. You go to college. When you go to college, I can't wait to get the bag. You start getting the bag. Okay, I'm an intern. I can't wait to get a full-time job. You got that. What's next? You're never gonna get there.
You must be
You're
rich.
gonna become the CEO.
Rich is next.
You're gonna be like, I only have one company. I need 3. I have 3 companies. I need 10.
It's never enough.
It's your like. I legit think you will never get
like
there.
Dave said, enjoy the journey so that no matter what comes out of it, you are somewhat happy.
Yeah.
I know sounds cliche, like, but you tell you.
No, but that is facts,
a lot of
though.
lies in life. Let that be one big lie. Like, just enjoy the journey each time, because you're not gonna reach the pinnacle of who you are. But I think everything you have now, you wanted at some point.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's a lie. That's like 2017. 2017 made me realize that cliches are cliches for a fucking reason. Like that enjoy the journey thing, it means like it's so true, because my thing was I can't wait to get out of college. I can't wait to finish college. Now I miss the fuck out of college, man. And it's like I take time to. I don't miss the classes and the exams. I miss the environment and the vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're never gonna have that time where you're just around chilling, you know, bantering with the fucking guys, blah blah. Even if I go right back to college now, it's not gonna be that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like
that specific moment in time is
Yeah.
engraved in your memory.
Yeah.
And those feelings attached to it.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, so significant for you.
And that's the journey.
Yeah.
In that moment, you need to take that and be like, rah. Because the thing is, right now, right, today to record this podcast has been a madness. And when you get mad big and like you've got niggas running around doing shit for you, you're gonna be like, oh, do you remember the days when like, oh,
Yeah,
fam,
when we
this,
started,
like, oh,
like,
do you remember we just started,
yeah.
just did this? What's it called? I need to go get the charger for this, but keep going.
Cool.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like it's just enjoying the journey, enjoying the process.
Yeah.
Enjoying where we are.
And big yourself up. Like I think life is it's so hard, and we're doing a good job. Yeah.
At the same time, though, it's funny because I'm my biggest critic. It's like I have like an army soldier within me.
Yeah.
That's telling me, like, if I was in the army right now, my sergeant, no matter if I did the best and I killed 1 million people, they'd be like,
it's not enough.
But I have that guy, but I also have the guy to look in the mirror and say, I am the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a balance of the two.
I am the best.
It's about balance.
It's a balance of the two. Yeah. And treat yourself for every little accomplishment.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that's one thing I could work on. I could treat myself a little better.
Yeah.
You know.
I find that guys are kind of not good at that.
No, we're not.
Do you know what I mean? I think it's because you feel like you have to be like the provider and you just have to keep going and going. Whereas for girls, it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna get my nails done. You guys don't really have that.
A lot of what we do as guys is like objective based.
Okay.
And anything else. Sometimes leisure stuff in between that can be redundant. Sometimes doing stuff like that. Like even getting a trim, like we nearly make a task out of getting a trim. Like we do as guys is a task.
Yeah.
That's why guys like games so much. Like there's studies on guys like in games and stuff like that.
Man, I actually miss gaming.
If we can't reach an objective, like it's like a pause on our life or pause in a game, the analogy I'm using, and we take a rougher if we can't finish something. So
it's all good. Y'all doing a good job, so it's all good.
Yeah.
You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. No, you're doing a good job. It's all good.